This is Twit.
I keep getting complaints on Twitter from the Chredge team about me calling it Chredge.
But wait a minute, they're the Chredge team.
Well,
Not
so
in their
I just
mind.
want to say on the record, I'm not just doing this to torment you guys, although that's part of the fun, but also you should have called this something else during the beta test and the testing of this, because for us writing about this, we can't just call it Edge because there's something already called Edge that is not Chredge.
We call it the new Edge. It's weird. I always call it the Chromium-based Edge.
Chromium-based Edge, or the coming new Edge, or the coming Chromium-based Edge. That's why we do it, just to clear the air here. And I had one of the team members yesterday say to me, yeah, but you know what? The reason we called it Edge is we want to have brand continuity when we come out with this and we eventually replace the old Edge. I get that. But for now, we need a shorthand way to talk about this thing. So
be honest.
Chredge.
We're calling it Chredge forever. Be honest.
It's going to be Chredge from now on.
Sorry.
Chredge or die. I'm getting the shirt.
Chredge or die.
Wow.
That's
a little hardcore.
The thing I love about what they announced, so Microsoft announced the Chredge enterprise roadmap with a bunch of features and all that stuff. And they come out and they're saying, hey, you need to start testing this. You need to start deploying all this stuff. You need to get it into your environment up and running, which great. And I'm sure some people are, but we still don't have a beta for this thing. We still don't know a release date. We still don't know when it's going to actually be shipping with Windows. And I don't know how you hear, Mary Jo, but IT pros generally don't have just time sitting on their hands to play around with this stuff. And so to tell these people, hey, you really need to start hammering on this when we don't know when it's coming, more than likely not this year, it's a little ambitious.
It is. What they said there was this week, the dev channel now has the Chromium-based Edge features turned on by default. Yep. So if you're somebody who wanted to see things like IE mode or sign in with AAD accounts, now you can start testing that because it's on by default in the dev channel. And then they made some comments about, don't worry, we'll support you if you have it in pilot. But I think that means paid support. I don't think it means we'll just be on hand but I might be wrong about that. So the roadmap's good, and it tells you, here's what we get now, available immediately. Here's what's going to be coming in the next several weeks. Here's what's coming in a future update with no timing on it at all. And some of the things there are things like integration with SCCM and Intune, which I know a lot of people care about, and PDF support for digital signatures. So some of the more advanced enterprise capabilities are not going to be coming until some unspecified future update.
Yep.
But still, if you do care, you can go now to edgeinsider.com/enterprise and see what they've got and check it out. Download a test build that'll be updated
there's
weekly.
Offline installers as well. You can go grab those if that's been holding you back. That's available. It's a good browser. I have no problem with it, but I think they got to be realistic about who's actually going to be rolling this out and when.
Yeah.
So.
It's great. It's great that they have the IE support is it now available? Or
IE mode is in there now.
Yeah, okay, so that's the most important thing, I think, especially in enterprises. They're going to want to see if they can move to Edge just because they have IE requirements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think it's great what they're doing. I think it's important for them to have some enterprises testing it, but I think they need to say something about the rollout plan. I agree with Brad on that. My new guess is, they say there's going to be a beta channel where it will be updated every 6 weeks. I'm kind of wondering if that's GA. Like, how Chrome was in beta forever. I don't even know if it still is or isn't, but maybe that's what they're going to do.
No, it's not in beta. They have a beta channel now, but you're right.
But remember when they used to have it in beta?
Google used to do everything in beta. That was like
forever, right?
Their inside joke was everything's beta.
Yeah. So maybe that's what they're going to do too. I don't know.
My guess is, and it actually answers all of the things that we've been talking about, they didn't think this would be a big deal. It's like, we're just going to slip in a different engine. Nobody will notice. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We don't need to give it a special name. We don't need to, talk about a release date and all that stuff. But people like us are really interested in this change of rendering engine, because from their point of view, that's all that's happened. We're just going to change the rendering engine in our browser. What's the big deal, kids? You know, I mean, that's so inside baseball? They probably thought nobody's going to pay attention to that. But of course,
it's a lot more than that, though.
Is it?
I feel like.
Because they've got to put a lot into it. I think, Leo, you're on to something here, because if you look at actually like the usage of Edge right now, it's what, like 5% or something like that around there. Like, what legacy are they carrying forward here? Like, that's 5% is going to be loyal no matter if it's a Blue E or anything else.
It's just, well, they use it because it's just it's the Blue E. It's just what shows up. That's how you do it, right? That's the 5%. In fact, it's stunningly low, given that's the default browser in Windows.
Right.
It just shows really how much people do want to use something else.
Yeah.
So maybe it is important to them. Maybe you're right, Mary Jo, because this is in a way saying, look, please pay attention. It's a new Edge. It's different. Mm-hmm. Was there a code name? We could
Anaheim is the code name for the new Edge.
If we say, we can't really say. It's time to talk about Anaheim.
I know. If more people knew that code name, it would work. Right. But I don't think, like, if you say it, people will be like, what?
Right.
They should have gone with Spartan. That would have been.
That was the old code name.
I know, but that's what they should have called.
2.
Yeah, Spartan 2.
The Reckoning.
Oh, Mary Jo, you've been working with Paul a little too long.
I have. I know. He's rubbing off on me. It's not good. It's really bad.
That's pretty funny. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry, Chromium Edge team, but we got to distinguish.
Nice people.
It's. I wonder if there's some trend because remember, Apple did this with the iPad. They just declined to give it a number or a name. They just said no, it's the iPad, but it's not the same as the Pro. No, it's just the iPad, and it's useful I think, for us as people who are covering these things. It forces people writing about Macintosh and iPads to say things like the 2018 iPad, which is not felicitous.
No.
Well, they tried it with the Surface Pro for one iteration, and that kind of
they did, didn't they? I think it must be there's some trend. Somebody wrote a book. Somebody in marketing and advertising wrote a book, said, "Let's do away with all these numbers. What do numbers mean to people anyway? It's a name. It's the new." Yeah. Nobody says it's the new Ford Explorer. They don't say Ford Explorer Chromium. They just say it's the 2019 Ford Explorer. Why can't we be like Ford?